Another video, just a little maintenance one. I've already talked about the ABS sensor intermediary loom, which goes between the ABS speed sensor down there and a plug up there. The loom travels along down there, around the shock absorber, across the sway bar, up the chassis rail, across the top of the spring mount, and the plug's just up in there, held on by a whole bunch of 10mm bolts. Just thought I'd show you what's happening. Welcome to Fink. One of the great artesian spar bars. That's the new loom, obviously about 200 odd bucks. Cheaper than an ABS sensor, as I've previously mentioned in prior videos. Good opportunity to check out the rotor while we're here to make sure there's plenty of meat on it. And the disc pads, I've already done that. But if you want to know what I'm looking for, and the disc pads, hopefully you can see it in there. That's the metal part there, and there's a little bit of metal there. And just to the left of that, there's some disc material. It's probably about 5mm, I reckon, each side. So there's still a few kilometres left on that, eh? So what am I going to do? I'm going to start at the sensor. So the sensor loom's here, connected to the intermediary loom there. So I'm going to undo this plug. Screwdriver will do that. There's also a little plastic clip in the sensor loom that I need to unclip from this little plate here. That's part of the intermediary loom that I need to replace. So I should need to remove it. Flat bladed screwdriver. Pretty simple job. Just slip it in, if I can see it. The clip just did pull out, and see that's it there. And it goes into that little hole down there. So I think it's a 10mm bolt there. I'm going to undo that and start undoing the loom. Then I'll do it around to the sway bar and start installing the new loom. To undo this clip, I've got a really thin bladed flat screwdriver there, and all I'm doing is just going into there and just levering it up a little bit. Sure, I said a 10mm bolt, but it's actually 12mm. So this is just putting in the new loom at the speed sensor side. Do up the plug, speed sensor, put that plug back down into that little hole, and then I'll come back to you. Just doing up the second bolt now. Thread all the loom right around the shock absorber. If you're interested, at the back end of this video I got a couple of pictures and stuff from the end of our summer tour last year. No, I don't think there's any video on that, but there's a couple of pictures and I just needed to throw it in somewhere, so I'm going to throw it in at the end of this video. Now, next one I'm going to do is this one over here. Then these two up here, or this one. And I'll come back to you once we're up to here. The brackets that you fit up have little locating tabs. You can see that there. So it's not just a matter of putting a bolt through the hole. You need to locate that tab in the locating hole as well. So that's one I've just replaced up here. And that's the one down near the sensor. You can see a little locating tab on it there too. Rightio, this clamp around the sway bar was a little bit tricky, so I actually used some multi-grips, 12mm socket multi-grips to crush up that clamp a little bit and socket so I could get a really good grip on that bolt to push it in. Now while that clamp was a little bit tricky, that last bolt is right up in there. You need to access it from this side as well. Not impossible, it's where my middle finger is, in there. So I'll get in there and see how we go, eh? Well, I'm not going to pull this old loom all the way through. Yeah, I got it out. You can see the clip here, it's got a little bit of tape around it, which is why I've started the end I did, because I couldn't get to it. But now I can, same as the earlier one, just a little thin bladed screwdriver under there, disconnect the plug, connect the new one in once I feed it back through. New loom, I've plugged that in first, okay. I'll actually stick a little zippy tie around that, just to hold that little tab in. Not happy the way it's sitting. Well, that's it, punters. Just to recap, 12mm ring open ender, probably a flat bladed screwdriver to get the clip out from the knuckle, smaller thin bladed screwdriver to undo those electrical clips. Had some problems with the bracket around the sway bars, so multi-grips and 12mm socket. Pretty straightforward. No difficulties anyhow. Moving on. End of this video really, I suppose, but if you want to hang around and watch a little bit of footage, and I say I'm not sure it's video or pictures, but anyhow I'm going to throw some stuff in here coming across from Western Australia, across the Great Australian Bight earlier last year.
I don't really know what comes next, I'm just doing my best even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't, that's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do.
Oh wow!
Let me tell you, there's some big bloody yabbies here. That's an oxymoron, no off-road driving, but it's a four-wheel drive track, eh? Left-hand rear caliper, 17mm slide bolts. Do you want to say something? My gobber's full.